នេះវាគ្មានរបស់យើងគឺមានលោក Phil Robertson នាយកកម្មវិធីខាងផ្នែកអាស៊ីទទួលបន្ទុកខាងផ្នែកអាស៊ីនៃអង្គការឃ្លាំមើលសិទ្ធិមនុស្ស Human Rights Watch លោកមានពេលខ្លីដោយសារលោកជួបប្រជុំដូច្នេះយើងខំប្រឹងឲ្យលឿនបន្តិចឲ្យឆ្លើយនឹងសំណួរដែលយើងមានក្នុងពេលនេះបាទ Good morning to you Phil nice to talk to you again
Good morning how are you good to hear you
I'm okay how about yourself Thank you.
Good,
I know you are in a rush to go to a meeting, two meetings. Let me begin with Cambodia's post-election development. The country has a new prime minister, as we all know, a bloated, top-heavy government, and the new prime minister has just visited New York to address the UN General Assembly with nearly empty seats, as we all know. Most of my American friends I talked to were shocked to learn that a West Point officer sponsored by U.S. taxpayers behaves in the way his communist father did when in power. Now let's talk about bilateral U.S.-Cambodia relations. Where do you think we are at right now? Is it a new low, a new high, or the same as past years?
Well, it's very clear that the Biden administration is trying to play games with Hun Manet. They somehow think that they're going to be able to pull him away from his father and from the entire political construction of the Cambodian People's Party to do something different. And we keep trying to tell them that, in fact, Hun Manet is basically the same as his father, that we're dealing with old wine in new bottles, and that any hope that somehow the human rights situation is going to improve because Hun Manet went to West Point is a fantasy. But nevertheless, we see this meeting with the Victoria Nuland, very senior State Department person with Hun Manet. We see these discussions being done very high profile. And of course, the Cambodian government is trying to use that to show that it has legitimacy. They're playing the legitimacy game through the meetings that they had in the UN. And this is all about trying to box in and create difficulties for the U.S. to criticize Cambodia about human rights violations in the future.
Right. Okay. You visited Washington, D.C. What is the sense of the U.S. Congress and the administration? Where does the U.S. go from here concerning dealing with Cambodia's new government?
Well, I think that the Congress right now, to be very honest, is not paying much attention to Cambodia at all.
Right.
President Biden flew to Vietnam and had this very big meeting in Hanoi on the 10th of September.
Right.
But, when I was up in Capitol Hill, they didn't even want to talk about that. The various different legislators all just wanted to talk about China. Right. That is the bottom line. The U.S. Congress is obsessed with China. And you would think that because China has so clearly controlled significant parts of what's happening in Cambodia that they have huge land concessions. They're providing a lot of support to Hun Sen and the CPP. That you would think that somehow this would mean that there would be a greater suspicion on Capitol Hill about Hun Sen and the Cambodian government and now Hun Manet. But that's not the case. I think that, the Capitol Hill has almost forgotten where Cambodia is. And I think the Cambodian Americans in the United States need to get more active in contacting their congressmen and their senators to demand that there be a stronger U.S. policy on human rights towards Cambodia.
Right. Cambodia's problems, as we all know, you just mentioned also, remain unchanged. What does the U.S. expect Cambodia's new leaders to do before, returning to mutual relations, or perhaps to a new high?
Well, I'm not sure it's going to move to a new high. I think what's happening right now is the State Department is trying to explore diplomatically whether they can change policy in Cambodia through negotiations with Hun Manet. Right. And I think they're going to play at that game for a couple of months before they realize that there isn't any possibility of getting concessions from Cambodia. And they're going to have to return to, a policy of increased pressure. But because Cambodia has sort of fallen out of the limelight, because it's not really a country that the State Department and others are paying that much attention to, it's very difficult to get the administration to take strong action on Cambodia. For instance, I mean, we've called for Magnitsky sanctions to be imposed on senior military and police officials who have supported Hun Sen and the CPP really back since the 1990s. There's been no action on that. Even these Chinese gangsters who are running the scam centers where there's hundreds of thousands of people who are in human trafficking situations, even those gangsters are not facing Magnitsky sanctions. Right. So something's wrong. I think, Washington is not paying attention to Cambodia, and that's a problem because we need Washington to stand up and work with the EU to mount a campaign of significant pressure on the new Cambodian government.
Okay. Now you just mentioned that Washington is about to, or maybe the Congress is about to forget where Cambodia is on a map right now. Your assessment of U.S.-Cambodia relations, is the U.S. more concerned about China's firm foothold in the country than the backslide of human rights, corruption, and the rule of law?
I think that the U.S. government is primarily concerned about the naval base that the Chinese are constructing in Cambodia.
Also, yeah.
And, of course, Cambodia continues to deny that it's a Chinese naval base. They continue to say that they will never allow a foreign military base in Cambodia. But everybody knows what is happening here. And this is the quid pro quo for China. I mean, they want a military base where they have some sort of forward projection capacity. And they're going to get it from Hun Sen. And Hun Sen is going to, Hun Manet. Hun Manet's going to play the same kind of double game that his father was playing. Saying one thing to the West while saying another thing to the Chinese and to the Vietnamese. Right. That's not going to change. The big question is whether we're going to see political courage in Washington to actually call them out on it, or whether we're going to continue to have this policy where they continue to, play along, say a few critical things now and again about this case or that case, but really don't do anything substantive to try to change the human rights abusing dynamic that exists in Cambodia. Right. I mean, we even have a very prominent U.S. citizen who is, in prison for a long period of time. Yeah. And why has she been forgotten? Right. I mean, it's surprising they haven't even designated her as being wrongfully detained. When you looked at the Wall Street Journal reporter who's been arrested and detained in Russia, within 24 hours, the State Department made that formal designation that he had been wrongfully detained. And with that comes a certain set of resources and policies that the U.S. government has to follow. Right. But they haven't made that determination for Seng Tiri. Why not? Right. I mean, it's clear that she was arrested and prosecuted and convicted of bogus charges that are just been formulated for political reasons. And, she should be designated as a wrongfully detained U.S. national and should receive top priority in terms of demanding her immediate and unconditional release.
Right. There's something wrong in Washington. I agree with you. But Ambassador Patrick Murphy just met the new prime minister at the Peace Palace, and he came out, praising Hun Manet's honesty, frankness in terms of dealing with, scammers, the Chinese gangsters in the coastal province. Okay, where is the American national interest in Cambodia? Is there any new U.S. aid package for Cambodia, as far as you know?
Well, let me first say that I think, unfortunately, Ambassador Patrick Murphy is part of the problem with U.S. policy in Cambodia.
How?
I mean, he has been playing a game where, he's just softly. He thinks that, he's got a golden tongue that he can somehow, talk Hun Manet into something. The reality is that nothing has changed. And he continues to, play these games of engagement without getting any results. But, because Cambodia has been largely forgotten in Washington, D.C., he can do whatever he wants. People aren't really paying attention. In terms of this new aid package, we saw, as everybody did, the claims by the Cambodian government that there's an $18 million resumption of U.S. aid to Cambodia. We have not been able to clearly identify what is being supported, if things are being supported. We're investigating that now.
Right.
Our view is that if that aid goes to, for instance, NGOs or civil society,
right,
well, that's fine. But, the U.S. government should not be funding programs directly with Cambodian government ministries for the reason of human rights abuses, but also because it's likely the money will be stolen. There's so much corruption in Cambodian government that, any aid donor who goes into Cambodia thinking he's going to be able to do a program with the Cambodian government should realize they're about to be fleeced. They're about to have a significant amount of resources stolen, because that's the way the Cambodian government operates. It is very corrupt. We have even more people now as various different advisors or secretaries of states and others, who are getting some money. It's becoming even worse. I mean, the way the Cambodian People's Party solves problems is they throw money at it. And this is a situation where any sort of pot of money that's coming in from a foreign source is immediately identified as something that could be used and distributed amongst various different cronies.
Right. Okay. I'd like to touch on the issue of the Chinese involvement in Cambodia a little bit, because since it's a major concern in Washington here. For Cambodia's foreign policy that is closely aligned with communist China, do you foresee Cambodia bringing war and destruction to its doorstep?
Well, I don't think Cambodia wants to get into a war with anybody. The biggest competition really for Cambodia's infections would be between China and Vietnam. But we've noticed that Vietnam, even though it's lost a lot of influence in Phnom Penh, is still remaining quiet and obviously playing a long game, trying to figure out how it may be able to regain influence at some point with the ruling leaders of the Cambodian People's Party. I don't see a war taking place in Southeast Asia. I don't
anytime
see
soon.
No, and I don't see anyone saying that they're going to fight a war over Cambodia or in Cambodia about this. So I mean, we're just dealing with the Chinese government supporting a dictatorship in Cambodia, a single party dictatorship. That is the bottom line. And because Hun Manet and his father believe that they have strong support from China, that has allowed them to then disregard other sources of income, but also other sources of criticism, where, they feel that we don't have to be concerned about what the EU says or the US says. This is why we've said continually that there has to be a movement towards sanctions, Magnitsky sanctions against key people who have played a real clear role over the years in the Cambodian People's Party and the government in using violence against political opposition persons and individuals who have criticized the government. We put out a report called the Dirty Dozen that outlined those cases of 12 of these key individuals. Not a single one of them has been sanctioned by the United States government. That's outrageous and unacceptable. And it shows a failure of U.S. policy to take human rights seriously in Cambodia.
Okay. Now that nothing has happened to the Dirty Dozen, has there been any talks in Washington, be it overtly or covertly, of blacklisting more new government leaders?
We have not heard of any sort of action of that sort. And in fact, I would say it's probably unlikely, at least at this point. Right. In part because there are limitations in the U.S. government capacity to list new persons for sanctions. They have to do a lot of research. Even though we did all the research for them in the Dirty Dozen report, what we're seeing is a reluctance by the government of the United States to take on new cases. And that's a problem. I think that, we need to see real action, not just more talk. I mean, we do appreciate that, the spokesperson in the U.S. Embassy in Phnom Penh will comment about rights abuses and people being arrested and violations of freedom of expression. It's all well and good that, the U.S. does speak out publicly now and again. Right. But the important thing is that there has to be action to back it up. because otherwise the Cambodian government has essentially discounted that criticism. They'll say, well, whatever we say, the embassy spokesperson is going to say something against us, and we don't care because they know that Washington's not going to back them up, that nothing's going to happen. If we started seeing some serious sanctioning on human rights grounds of various different key individuals backing the Cambodian People's Party and the government, that would be, I think, something that would be really focus the attention in Phnom Penh that they have a problem. And, that's why we've been saying all along, start with the Dirty Dozen. These are the key people who have backed with violence the work of the Cambodian People's Party and its efforts to control the entire Cambodian government.
Thank you very much, Phil. As promised, 15 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Just one quick final question. What do you think about the billboard showing or advertising the new prime minister in the heart of New York?
Well, I mean, either Hun Manet or one of his crony friends spent a lot of money to have that billboard feature Hun Manet. Right. You don't get anything for free in New York. And, the fact that they're maintaining that somehow this was given to Hun Manet for free is a fantasy. Everything in New York is cash on the barrelhead. You want something, you pay for it. And, advertising like that doesn't come cheap.
Right.
So someone spent a lot of money for that advertisement. And I'm sure Hun Manet was thrilled. And that's precisely what that Okna or that crony was anticipating, that he was going to do something that would make Hun Manet happy, so that Hun Manet will do him some favors later on. Sure. And, this is the pay-to-play game that exists in Cambodia all along.
All right. Thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on our program on your busy schedule. And
thank you so much.
Safe return, okay?
Okay. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
លោកអ្នកនាងទស្សនិកជនជាទីមេត្រីអំបញ្ញមិញនេះជាកិច្ចសម្ភាសជាមួយលោក Phil Robertson នាយករងផ្នែកកិច្ចការអាស៊ីនៃអង្គការឃ្លាំមើលសិទ្ធិមនុស្ស Human Rights Watch លោកអញ្ជើញមកបំពេញបេសកកម្មនៅរដ្ឋធានី Washington ហើយយើងបានព្យាយាមសាកសួរលោកតើលោកយល់យ៉ាងម៉េចដោយសារលោកជាមនុស្សតាមដាននៅលើរឿងសិទ្ធិមនុស្សលទ្ធិប្រជាធិបតេយ្យការគោរពច្បាប់ទម្លាប់សិទ្ធិសេរីភាពនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាយើងបានសាកសួរលោកហើយយើងក៏បានធ្វើព័ត៌មានជាច្រើនដែរមកហើយនោះគឺថាលោកអត់មានសង្ឃឹមអ្វីថាលោកនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីថ្មីតពូជតអំបូរពីឪពុកនឹងធ្វើអ្វីឲ្យវាមានការប្រែប្រួលផ្លាស់ប្ដូរគួរឲ្យកោតសរសើរឬកត់សម្គាល់នោះទេលោកនឹងដើរតាមមាគ៌ាដែលឪពុកលោកត្រួសត្រាយទុកមកឲ្យហើយម្យ៉ាងទៀតនោះរដ្ឋការក្រុង Washington បច្ចុប្បន្ននេះទាំងសភាទាំងរដ្ឋាភិបាលលោក Biden ហ្នឹងក៏ដូចជាមិនសូវខ្វល់ខ្វាយយកចិត្តទុកដាក់រឿងខ្មែរផងលោក Phil Robertson និយាយថាមន្ត្រីអាមេរិកនៅរដ្ឋធានី Washington នេះហាក់បីដូចជាចង់ភ្លេចថាប្រទេសកម្ពុជាហ្នឹងនៅត្រង់ណាទៅហើយគេមិនបានលើករឿងទុកសោកទាំងឡាយនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាហ្នឹងយកមកនិយាយញឹកញាប់នោះទេហើយសូម្បីតែពលរដ្ឋអាមេរិកកញ្ញាសេងធីរីដែលគេយកទៅដាក់ទោសពៃឃុំឃាំងដាក់ពន្ធនាគារដោយខុសច្បាប់តាមភាសារបស់លោកខាងច្បាប់អន្តរជាតិថាមិនស្របច្បាប់នោះក៏សហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកមិនបានយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ចាត់វិធានការធ្វើយ៉ាងណាយ៉ាងណីដើម្បីឲ្យដោះលែងកញ្ញាសេងធីរីនោះដែរវាខុសពីពលរដ្ឋអាមេរិកដទៃដែលគេចាប់ចងដាក់ពន្ធនាគារនៅប្រទេសរុស្ស៊ីក្រុង Washington ហាក់បីដូចជាមានវិធានការភ្លាមចាត់ការភ្លាមមានធនធានធ្វើយ៉ាងណាយ៉ាងណីដាក់ទណ្ឌកម្មបែបណានោះនៅពេលដែលពលរដ្ឋអាមេរិកដទៃទៀតមានបញ្ហានៅក្នុងប្រទេសរុស្ស៊ីរីឯពលរដ្ឋអាមេរិកមានបញ្ហានៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជារដ្ឋការក្រុង Washington ហាក់បីដូចជាបិទមាត់ម្យ៉ាងទៀតនោះគឺលោកប្រធានាធិបតី Biden នឹងក៏បានធ្វើដំណើរទៅក្នុងប្រទេសទៅកាន់ប្រទេសវៀតណាមហើយផ្សារភ្ជាប់ទំនាក់ទំនងទាំងឡាយនោះដូច្នេះរឿងដែលគេយកចិត្តទុកដាក់បំផុតនោះគឺមិនមែនរឿងសិទ្ធិមនុស្សរឿងប្រជាធិបតេយ្យអីប្រមាណទេនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាបើសិនជាគេយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ខ្លាំងក្លានោះគេនឹងមានវិធានការមានធនធានមានមនុស្សម្នាសម្រាប់ធ្វើកិច្ចការខាងនោះពេញដៃពេញជើងហើយគេយកចិត្តទុកដាក់នៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាគឺរឿងមូលដ្ឋាន កងទ័ពមូលដ្ឋានយោធាចិនដែលក្រុង Washington គេចាប់អារម្មណ៍ហើយគេនិយាយច្រើនគឺរឿងជាមួយនឹងចិនទៅវិញទេបាទហើយបន្ទាប់មកទៀតនោះគឺថារឿងសិទ្ធិមនុស្សហើយរឿងការប្រើប្រាស់ធនធានជំនួយពីសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកក៏លោកថាយកមន្ត្រីរដ្ឋាភិបាលយករឿងខ្លះទៅនិយាយមិនត្រឹមត្រូវដែរពីព្រោះជាលុយដែលនៅក្នុងកញ្ចប់ថវិកាពីសម័យមុនឆ្នាំសារពើពន្ធមុនដែលគេតម្រូវឲ្យទៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាប៉ុន្តែជំនួយនេះ18រៀល17រៀល18លានហ្នឹងគឺមិនបានយកឲ្យទៅរដ្ឋាភិបាលប្រើប្រាស់ទេគឺយកជួយទៅខាងអង្គការសង្គមស៊ីវិលដែលជួយកិច្ចការងារមនុស្សធម៌សប្បុរសធម៌ខាងសុខាភិបាលក្តីខាងកសិកម្មខាងបរិស្ថានក្តីទៅវិញទេមិនបានជួយដល់រដ្ឋាភិបាលទេហើយរឿងម្យ៉ាងវិញទៀតនោះដោយសារពេលវេលាខ្លីយើងនៅមានព័ត៌មានសំខាន់ៗច្រើនទៀតដែលត្រូវជម្រាបរឿងជួលរូបផ្ទាំងប៉ាណូនៅបូរីញូវយ៉កតែតាំងពាណិជ្ជកម្មលោកនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីថ្មីហ៊ុនម៉ាណែតនោះគឺលោកថានៅបូរីញូវយ៉កបើអ្នកណាដឹងអ្នកណាមិនដឹងមិនដែលអ្វីគឺថាមិនចាយលុយនោះទេគ្មានអ្វីបានដោយមិនបង់លុយបង់កាក់នោះទេហើយតម្លៃរបស់វាក៏មិនថោកដែរក៏ប៉ុន្តែទំនងជាអ្នកដែលចង់បានការជិតស្និទ្ធចង់បានឲ្យលោកនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីថ្មីហ៊ុនម៉ាណែតកោតសរសើរប្រហែលជាគេចេញលុយជួលប៉ាណូនឹងដាក់រូបលោកហ៊ុនម៉ាណែតនឹងបង្អួតគេទៅប៉ុន្តែទោះជាយ៉ាងណាក៏ដោយការចំណាយលុយឥតប្រយោជន៍ប៉ុន្តែទំនងជាបាទហើយមួយវិញទៀតលោកនិយាយអំពីលោកទូតឯកអគ្គរដ្ឋទូត Patrick Murphy នៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាដែលជាតំណាងឲ្យក្រសួងការបរទេសនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាតំណាងរដ្ឋាភិបាលលោក Biden ហ្នឹងលោក Phil Robertson មានប្រសាសន៍ថាលោកឯកអគ្គរដ្ឋទូត Murphy យូរទៅលោកហាក់បីដូចជាคล้ายទៅជាមនុស្សម្នាក់ដែលគេហៅថាលេងល្បែងជាមួយនឹងរដ្ឋាភិបាលនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីតាំងពីចំនួនលោកហ៊ុនសែនរហូតដល់មកកូនទៀតហ្នឹងដោយសង្ឃឹមថាអាចនឹងនិយាយបញ្ចុះបញ្ចូលឲ្យអ្នកទាំងឪពុកទាំងកូនហ្នឹងអាចវិលមករកដោយថាផ្លូវមិត្តភាពដែលអាមេរិកកាំងចង់បាននេះវិញក៏ប៉ុន្តែលោកថាជាការស្រមើស្រមៃពីព្រោះលោកហ៊ុនម៉ាណែតក៏នឹងធ្វើតាមឪពុកដែរដូច្នេះលោក Patrick Murphy ហ្នឹងគាត់គ្រាន់តែជាមន្ត្រីមួយដែលយូរទៅដូចជានិយាយប្រឡំដោយថាមិនច្បាស់លាស់សន្សំសុខសន្សំស្រួលជាមួយនឹងរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលប្រទេសកម្ពុជានឹងទៅវិញទេទៅថាឲ្យជួយអ្វីក៏ជួយមិនជាដុំកំភួនបានដែរហើយខ្លាយទៅជាមនុស្សម្នាក់ដែលថាជួយការពារកន្លែងខ្លះឲ្យរដ្ឋាភិបាលផ្ដាច់ការនោះទៅវិញរឿងមួយទៀតដែលថាតើប្រទេសកម្ពុជាអាចនឹងនាំភ្លើងដុតផ្ទះខ្លួនឯងទេនៅពេលដែលយើងគៀកកាយចិត្តស្និទ្ធពេកជាមួយនឹងចិនកុម្មុយនីសលោក Phil Robertson យល់ថាលោកមិនមើលឃើញថានឹងមានសង្គ្រាមមានការបំផ្លាញអីដោយប្រការណាមួយទេពីព្រោះគេជៀសណាស់មិនចង់ធ្វើអ្វីទេក៏ប៉ុន្តែរឿងទាំងឡាយនេះគឺប្រទេសវៀតណាមក៏នៅរងចាំមើលដែរគេលេងល្បែងផ្លូវឆ្ងាយដោយចាំមើលថាតើមេដឹកនាំចំនួនថ្មីនេះប្រកាន់គោលជំហរយ៉ាងណាពីព្រោះគេសង្កេតឃើញថាប្រទេសវៀតណាមហាក់បីដូចជាបាត់បង់ឥទ្ធិពលខ្លះៗដែរជាមួយនឹងមន្ត្រីក្នុងបកប្រជាជនកម្ពុជាហើយដោយសារតែគោលនយោបាយគេសម្រង់ទៅប្រទេសចិនទាំងស្រុងនោះក៏ប៉ុន្តែប្រទេសវៀតណាមគេនៅស្ងៀមគេឃ្លាំមើលហើយគេមានវិធានការទប់ទល់បើប្រសិនណាជាមានហេតុការណ៍អីមួយកើតឡើងដែលប៉ះពាល់ផលប្រយោជន៍របស់គេ